If you guys are looking for some top quality professional thumbnails, and be sure to check out the FIFA 1 videos. Link to his channel is in the description. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be giving you my review, should I say, for PES 2016. I've already done one of these for FIFA 16. Check that out, the link in the description. Is it worth a purchase this year? What do I make of it? Well, check out that video to see. But today we're going to be going through the modes and the competitions and the gameplay, most importantly, as well as Master League and that, to see if it is the winner this year. Now, you know, we have 2 football games every year, and PES has been a disappointment for me personally. I thought PES 2014 was one of the worst games in a PES series for a while. PES 2015 was a bit better. How is it doing this year? Well, the first thing, the menus, very much the same as last year. They've got this FIFA-type menu system that they've incorporated, which I've got no problems with. I said that if they wanted to go that route, then they had to. They needed a better menu system, something that they can keep yearly, annually, instead of keep changing it. People don't like change. People do not want to see change every single year. Maybe every 3 or 4 years, fine, but every year is too much. So we go through here and we have our Master League, and the ability to sort of pin different things on the menu is always a nice addition. If you play a lot of My Club, put that on the home screen. If you want to do a lot of edit mode, put that in there as well. It will keep your history of sort of what's been happening or what you've been doing recently. If you scroll across, you can see you've got the exhibition, quick match, all the match types in there, competitions, Champions League. We know the PES World has that Champions League license. They have the Europa League license as well, the Copa Libertadores, the Copa Sudamericana, the AFC Champions League. I mean, they've got a lot of licenses when it comes to these competitions. We know they do lack the Premier League license and the Bundesliga, etc., but that's another story. Moving further on here, Football Club is where you'll play My Club, Master League, and Become a Legend. Have they changed this year? Well, we'll find out shortly. And then the extras, we have training, edit, statistics, online settings, highlights, and more. So let's dive into the edit mode this year. Has there been a change when it comes to editing overall? Well, the PlayStation 4, and this is the one I'm reviewing, yes, there has been a huge change this year in the sense that finally we can add emblems, we can add kits, and we can add a lot more. So that's a big, big plus. It was something that was missing last year. We didn't have the right kits, we didn't have the right emblems. We had to make these ridiculously looking awful kits that looked horrendous, but hey, it's the best that we could do. So we go into uniforms, and you can see these are the ones I've added myself. All of these are available over there at PESuniverse.com. Free to download, of course, but they look fantastic. The ability now to import kits that have been made means we get every little detail. Now, unfortunately, this doesn't cater over to the Xbox One. It only applies to the PlayStation 4. So if you want to pick up this copy and you've got a PlayStation 4, you've got an Xbox One, I highly recommend you pick up the PS4 for that reason. I have also got a video for that, linking you in the description, of how to patch teams and how to incorporate the real kits. So once we have had a look at that, and we have done so, we've got the usual, the transfers, the stadiums, and this is something that is disappointing. There's no real stadium editor again, and it's something we've been asking for so long, and they have to bring it back next year. If they don't bring it back next year, if we do not see some sort of massive stadium editor, I, personally, will be thoroughly disappointed. They have added a few more stadiums, yes, but that's about it. The stadium editor is pretty basic, and all it involves is you changing seat colors, changing grass textures, and changing net colors. It's very, very dull, and it needs to be sorted. So yes, we have to knock points off for that. The transfers are very simple to do, but they are still a little bit too tedious for my liking. PES never updates the games very well. Konami don't do regular updates. I think they need a better transfer system. You have to go in here, you have to press square to add a player, then you got to find them. If you want to remove one, you got to do this. It's too much. We should be able to pick multiple players, add them to multiple teams, and it be done. Faces this year, player models. I have to say I'm impressed with them. I like the look of them. Overall, when the player has a right face, he looks spot on, and I still think PES, face-wise and model-wise, is better than its competitor on FIFA. Simple as that. You look at Bella in there, it looks phenomenal. Monreal looks good. for the most part this year, the faces are there for the main stars. We are still lacking some for the likes of Wilson at Manchester United and Lingard and stuff. But we hope to see an update for those in the future. So unfortunately, at this time of recording, I can't get into the servers to check out my club. And this is this is a disappointment. I mean, this is something I've got to say right here and then, because I want to go online. It's only 11:50 where I'm recording right now, and they're doing maintenance. And it's a stupid time to do it. So I can't head online. I can't play my club. I can't connect, as you can see here. And that's a shambles, to be honest with you. I still don't think Konami have sorted out the whole online thing. My club this year is better, and I wanted to show you some of the features, but unfortunately, well, it's not going to happen in this video. Instead, we're going to dive in here to my club, or Master League, should I say, and show you guys all about that. But yeah, my club this year, it's better. They've added more features with the experience points, but overall, still, the problems do come when you come against people online. The spamming over the top is constant. The team spirit, I think, still plays too much of a factor. The matchmaking is horrendous. It comes into a ping-pong fest online because we can't play up against people with similar level support. There's no option for it. So my club still needs a lot of fine-tuning. A lot of work needs to be done behind the scenes, but I don't play a whole lot of it. But what I do play a lot of is this game mode right here, Master League. And I have to say, finally, they've made a decent Master League that is so much more enjoyable than it has been before. First of all, the whole look of it, the overhaul of the menus being changed. They've gone for a more FIFA approach, as you would expect, but instead of transitioning through menus, you simply press R1 and L1 to move across the tab in the top. So if you want to go to team management, game plan, the ability to go in there and play around with this. I still think maybe next year updating this team management system a little bit more, giving it a little bit better, or maybe more of a 3D look and feel. I like what FIFA did, and I'm not saying copy them, but I think it's getting a little bit old now. It's very basic, and it does it's the fundamentals, and it works, but I like to see a little bit more, maybe showing players' faces or something. But you go in there, you change your team. The ability to switch formations on a fly for the fluid formations is still there with a flick of the right stick, so that's nice. And it works. It's simple, easy to do. We've got training this year, obviously the same as last year. You can go through here and change what you wish to tweak it for specific players. You can renew your contracts, you can edit player numbers. There is a youth team. Although there's a youth team, but we get a whole bunch of nonsense names. I mean, this is Manchester United, and have a look at their youth system. I don't know how you pronounce any of these names. They're pretty strange. So maybe Carlington is about as authentic you'll get an Ireland player. But as you can see, they all look very, very similar. They have the same face. I think that's lazy on Konami's part there. So just simple things like that, it kind of annoys me a little bit. The new negotiations is better this year, but still, it's not enough. I don't think the transfers is enough. It's not in depth, that's the thing. And yeah, you'll get management offers throughout the course of your season, but when it comes to actually buying players, there isn't a proper transfer deadline day. I'd like to see that. A whole day dedicated to buying transfers, very much like the real life. Simple as that. If we got that, it would be an added feature. So I'd like to see a more in-depth transfer system for next year. We have the schedule here, which will show you the results, which will show you the up-and-coming matches. Not real to life, unfortunately, but they don't have the license for them. This new team role list is something that they have added. As players become better in your squad, they will give sort of bonuses towards merchandise, fan club income, even players when they train. And this is something unique. This is something I like because it adds difference. It adds something unique to Master League that other game modes don't have. And I like that from Konami. It's a nice little added touch there. They got the squad list, which will show you how teams, or players should I say, are playing. Their stats, if they're growing. And obviously their overall appearance. You can have a look at them. Player statuses as well. Players injured, suspended, national team selections all there, retirements, loan transfers and transfer listed players. Is there enough injuries though still? We'll talk about that when it comes to the gameplay. Monthly stats, you can actually look at this year. This is something totally new that they have added, and I like it. I like it because it gives you a chance to see how you're playing. You can have a look from your attacking areas to your ball winning areas, favorite attacking approach, favorite defensive approach. All of this is nice, and it gives you a chance to see, okay, I'm not playing well down the wings, it's something I've got to work on more, I'm not scoring enough goals down the flanks, we've got to whip more balls in. It's something you can look at and really sort of keeps you engaged in the mode a little bit more. You can also view your salary budget, which is pretty bland. There isn't too much to talk about there. And then database is all about competition info. You've got transfer market news. It will tell you all about where players have gone. Unfortunately, because we don't have all the players or all the teams in here, there are going to be some weird transfers around the globe, but it's something we have to live with in PES. It will tell you all about your the winners for the titles. There was a nice little cutscene now they have with Lionel Messi picking up his trophy. That's something they have added, as well as a team of the month. It's nice to see how your players are doing. So overall this year, Master League looks good, and it's a big upgrade, I think, from what we have seen. The ability now to flick through screens and look at what players have been saying, it just adds a little bit extra to the game. But how does the gameplay shape up? Well, let's find out as we dive into it. So we head into the matchup itself. We're going to take a look at the sort of pre-match festivities. Groningen and Manchester United here real quickly, but I've always liked the beginning of the game. It works for me. It's nothing too crazy. But anyway, we're here to talk about the gameplay, and that's what it is all about. And this for me is where PES does shine, and it always has done. Even when the game is sort of had its problems off the pitch, on the pitch, it makes you feel more alive, shall we say. And yes, I thought PES 2014 was a shambles and a bit of a joke of a game, but this year, definitely they have stepped up the mark. It's more tougher, especially against the AI away from home, and if you turn off the level support, you really get a good, solid game of football. I think if you want realism, PES is more like it than FIFA, because for me, FIFA, I don't get that excitement. The time on the ball isn't always there, and football isn't played at super fast pace. It's played a quick in the final third, but when it comes to, you know, playing at the back, pinging it about, no, players do not close you down. But I still think the massive benefit of PES is the fact that the player individuality, the way the teams play, is different. All the time, it doesn't matter who you are, what team you play up against, you're always going to have some sort of a different matchup. Yes, it could be easy one match, but then the next match, it could be an absolute mission to put the ball in the back of the net. That is an absolute bullet, I have to say, from Herrera. And that was manual shot. That's something that you can use with the hold, well, if you hold L2. And this year, there is more diversity in the way you score. I think that's a big plus as well. The camera angles, on the other hand, is something I would take a lot of points off for if it really did matter a whole lot. But PES has never had fantastic camera angles. What a strike that was. But the camera angles are horrendous. They need to sort those out next year, certainly. It hasn't been something that has been rectified. They tried changing them ever so slightly this year, and you can see that. But still, it's not good enough. And goalies as well. I mean, can the goalie save this? We'll have a look now. It was a blistering strike. I don't think he could have saved that one. Goalies still need work, and that's the thing about PES. As much as the gameplay, I think, is great, there are still problems with it. But because the gameplay is exciting, I think, and fun to play, I manage to overlook them more than, say, I would do if I'm playing FIFA. The goalies, yes, they do need a little bit more work. The referees are pretty dreadful. There isn't enough injuries for me in the actual matchup. There seems to be more injuries now in Master League just when players are coming off the field. The yellow cards, the red cards, yeah, those are things that do need to be rectified. But when it comes to teams playing, when it comes to player individuality, every match feeling very unique, it's what I love about PES. So as much as it has its niggles, for me this year, I would probably rate PES. I don't think it's up there with the 9s and the 9.5s. I would definitely probably give it around sort of an 8.2 and 8.3 this year. I think it has room to improve, there's no doubt about it, but it's definitely the best PES that they've made to date. There's no question. And next year, if they manage to sort out more injuries, better goalkeeping, referees, more fouls. We need a lot more fouls, especially in the big games. You know, I really think that FIFA and EA are going to have to step up their game, because PES is coming back to where it should be and where it has been before. The gameplay's fun. It's an enjoyable game to pick up. If you can pick it up cheap, why not? I'd even recommend paying for it full price, to be fair, especially on the PC version. My club does need some work. I still think online they need to sort out the matchmaking. It is a little bit of a shambles at times. It doesn't work when you come up against horrendously rated teams and you're playing ping football. And that is actually one niggle that I do want to finish up on, is the player support this year. I think one is far too scripted and does need to be sorted out when it comes to next year. Player support off is perfectly fine, and is probably why I'm giving this game an 8.2 and 8.3. Otherwise, it could be worse, because I don't think player support on is enjoyable. I think it's ping pong, and it's not for me. So that's what I make of it this year. I do think it's worth picking up. I would say PES is more enjoyable to play on the field than FIFA, but FIFA still has the presentation locked up quite nicely. Please do let me know what you make of it in the comments. Your pros, your cons of it. I probably have missed some here and there, but I try my best to sort of give you a non-biased review about both games. The other review is in the description. And that is all today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back with lots more coverage, Master League, Career Mode, everything else. But until next time, take care.